every criticism of Israel can't be anti-Semitism. That also.
Well, how about the citizens' criticism of Israel?
Right.
They were in the streets, hundreds of thousands of them for months.
They were not fans of
Netanyahu.
Bibi. Yeah. So there is room, and there has to be room to say the course of action we disagree with. I think it's unwise for the United States to allow and fund an open-ended engagement in Gaza. Open-ended with Netanyahu goes, we need like 2 years, two months.
They're already saying that it might be beyond the tipping point of rebuilding. Like, they've destroyed so much. Have you seen the footage, the recent footage?
It's crazy.
Mosques.
It's not
just
good.
Bombing mosques, bombing buildings.
It's their moment. At what we did after 9/11 did not make us safer, and I think they're having that moment right now where there's an understandable rage. They are upset. Hamas has their babies and women and children, and what Hamas did was strike at the heart. That's what terrorism does, right? You get to the core of a human being by saying, we're going to rip away the things from you that you care about the most. This is the emotional response to that. I don't know how strategic long-term it is.
It's terrifying.
And I think it's unfortunately, when you see women and children being killed that are innocent, we got to minimize that. This is, if not, this is why when we have a modern civilization, the whole point of being a civilized country is to, minimize deaths of innocent people in these types of things.
Especially like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that October 7th thing is so wild. The music festivals.
It's crazy.
Terrifying.
No, and I understand why you have a situation now where Israel is in a position where they're going, well, we can't live with Hamas.
Right.
That's not going to work.
Right.
We can't live with them. But there needs to be some two-state solution. When I grew up, all we heard was that. And it never materialized. It never came to fruition. But then over the last few years, no one's talked about it and no one's cared. And I think it's become a situation where you have these elements, these radical elements in that society that are reacting to the very real and unending, like unlivability of that situation. Where Gaza's unlivable. It's not a livable situation, the situation. So then there's going to be people that are ultimately hopeless. And that's where terrorism comes from. It comes from people that feel like they have zero hope. Nobody blows himself up or engages in this type of activity because they feel like there's a myriad of options for them in life.
Right.
They might be polluted with fundamentalist religion, but where does that come from? It comes from the idea that if somebody came to me and goes, blow yourself up, I go, I don't want to. I have a show tonight, for law enforcement. I have whatever. I got stuff to do. I don't have the greatest life in the world. I don't even have to say that. I have a raccoon coat on. But the point is, I'm not going to blow myself up. No young 19-year-old person should be at a point in their life when, for a religion or a political faction or a government, should be thinking of doing a kamikaze mission. So you do have to address the political conditions that create that level of hopelessness. You do.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that anti-Semitism's okay, and that doesn't mean that at every turn you're going to be able to convert people, that if they just want to kill Jews, maybe they're just going to kill Jews, and you have to eradicate that threat. But you have to address those political conditions that create that type of desperation in people that turns them to that type of violence.
Have you ever heard Dave Smith talk about it?
Yeah, I heard a little bit on your show.
He goes deep.
He's deep in it.
And when you look at when it's all laid out, you're like, oh my God, how do you fix that?
It's very hard. Well, I believe in a crusade. I believe my fat aunt and uncle, the Christians, take it. They come in on a Carnival cruise ship. They come out. The Jews and the Arabs go, what happened? And then Big Daddy, the originals, the Christians, the ones who used to run it, come back. They set up Dave and Buster's. They're in there. They're at buffets. My aunt's pointing at the tomb where Jesus supposedly crawled out of. She's taking a photo with it in her sandals. You know, it's very hard to imagine fixing any of this stuff. We're going to have to learn to live with some compromises. And I don't only mean like political compromises where we go, you get this, we get that. There's just some compromises in life where we're going to have to just understand that certain areas might be dangerous.
Yeah.
You know? Certain areas might be dangerous. It's what it is. Did we fix the south side of Chicago? Did we fix inner city, East St. Louis? Did we fix any of those? No, people left. So that's unfortunately what tends to happen a lot is people go. They leave. So I don't know that.
But how do they get out of Gaza? That's the problem.
That's a problem.
That's part of the problem. It's
a problem.
Kind of an open air prison.
That's a problem. They're going to have to go to some of the other Arab countries.
Are the other Arab countries taking Gaza refugees?
No, not a lot of them.
That seems like
they should take some. But again, I don't want refugees. Like I almost agree with them there. It's like I don't want refugees. If my family started calling me going, "Hey, our pipes froze," I'd go, "Oh, I'm sad. That's horrible. Wow, just be at the hotel again, huh? Well, we figured you got a house in there. What? It's like there's a limit to the refugee game."
Well, that was one of the funniest things about the New York crisis. They were asking people to take them into their homes.
No.
What are you talking about?
That?
Some guy who walked over here from Guatemala and he's going to sleep with your kids?
It's crazy.
Like, what are you saying? Do you know that guy? Is he cool?
Here's the thing, and I know this is going to sound horrible because I think even if Jesus were to come back, he would even say, enough with the refugees. Like, I think, we got to not fuck up the whole world and then take them all in. Like this writer, Steve Saylor, said, he had a great quote, invade the world, invite the world. Can't do it. We can't go around fucking everything up and then all these people show up and we go, well, we owe them. I go, I don't owe them. I didn't do it. I didn't bomb them. Well, your tax dollar. It's like, we have to stop letting people destabilize all these countries and then let them in. We have floods of refugees in
Why
Europe.
do you think the refugees are coming in from the southern border like they are? Why do you think they're allowing that to happen?
It's economic migration, and the reason is that a lot of these business owners and rich people benefit from cheap labor.